Shabbat Shalom, everyone, in our sanctuary this evening. Shabbat Shalom to everyone joining us on streaming. Our first Shabbat of December, very exciting. And just a little over 2 weeks from now, we will be lighting our Hanukkot and celebrating the miracle of Hanukkah. So time is just moving very, very quick. So I would like to start our service tonight on page 10 as we join together in the singing of Hine Ma Tov. Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Ma Tov Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Ma Tov Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Ma Tov, Hine Ma Tov. La 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 la. Hine Ma Tov, Hine Ma Tov. La 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 la. Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. We now turn back in our Siddur to pages 2 and 3 as I invite Megan to come light our Shabbat candles this evening. You could read in the net.
Okay. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle. Well, that's the wrong melody.
It's okay.
Okay.
We could sing it together.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you so much. Almost. We join together as we read on the bottom of page 12 and the top of page 13 in English. Come, let us sing joyously to Adonai, raise a shout for our rock and deliverer. Let us come into God's presence with praise. Let us raise a shout for God in song. For Adonai is a great God, the great ruler of all divine beings. Let's join together on the top of 13. In God's hand are the depths of the earth. The peaks of the mountains are God's. God is the sea, God made it, and the land which God's hands fashioned. Come, let us bow down and kneel, bend the knee before Adonai, our Maker. For Adonai is our God, and we are the people God tends, the flock in God's care. Oh, if you would but heed God's charge this day. We turn to page 16. Zamru l'Adonai bechinor, bechinor v'kol simra, bechol chatrot v'kol shofar, Ariel lifnei HaMelech Adonai, Yirah v'yamamo, Tevel v'yoshveva, Neharot yimchachav, Yachad harim yiranenu, Lifnei Adonai kiva, Lishpat haaretz, Lishpat tevel bet tzedek, Be'amim b'mei yesharim, Yirah v'yamamo, Tevel v'yoshveva, Neharot yimchachav, Yachad harim yiranenu. Our next prayer in our Shabbat service this evening is Lecha Dodi. We greet the Shabbat bride on every Shabbat, and we say, "Beloved, come to meet the bride. Beloved, come to meet Shabbat." And this poem was composed by Shlomo Halevi Alkabetz, a Kabbalist. And as a lot of the poets during the 16th centuries, they used the letters of their names to start out each verse. And so we join together in the singing of Lecha Dodi on page 20. We will do verses 1, 2, and 9. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor bedibur echad, Ishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, V'shemo tiferet ve'litchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki mekor habaracha, Merosh mikedem nesucha, Zav ma'aseh b'makshava tchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. We rise and we face the doors at the back of our sanctuary to greet our Shabbat bride. Bo'ii v'shalom ateret bala, Gam besimcha uvetzolo, Toch emunei am segula, Bo'ii chala, bo'ii chala. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. You may be seated. Once a year, I get to chant the verses from the Parsha Vayetze, which is this week's Torah portion. And most of the time, when we talk about the angels for Shabbat, we recite the prayer Shalom Aleichem, which speaks about peace to our ministering angels, our messengers of the Most High. But this week, the editors of Mishkan Tefillah thought that it was very important to add this particular verse the verses from this week's Torah portion, because it talks about Jacob and his experiences with the angels climbing up and down the ladder. So if everyone will turn to page 25, and I will chant the verses on the page, and you can follow along in the Hebrew or in the English. Vayetze Yaakov miBeersheva, vayelech Harana, vayivka b'makom, vayalech sham kiva shemesh, vayikach me'avnei hamakom, vayasem mar'ashotav, vayishkav b'makom hahu, vayachalom, vahine sulam mutzav artza, barosho magia hashamayma, vahine malach Elohim olim veyodim bo, vahine Adonai nitzav alav, vayomar ani Adonai Elohei Abraham avicha, ve'Elohei Yitzchak, ve'haaretz asher ata shochev alecha, lecha etnena uzorecha, ve'haya zorecha kafar haaretz, ufaratza yama v'kedma, ve'tzafona v'negba, v'nivrechu v'cha kol mishpechot adama uvzorecha, v'hine anochi imach, v'chol umarticha asher telech, v'hashivoticha el ha'adama hazot, ki lo e'ezavcha ad asher imasita et asher dibarti lach. Vayikat Yaakov mishnato, vayomer achen yesh Adonai b'makom hazeh, va'anochi lo yadati, vayera vayomar manora hamakom hazeh, ein ze ki im ba'et ha'Elohim, ve'zeh shar hashamayim. And awaking from his sleep, Jacob said, "Truly Adonai is in this place, and I did not know it." He was awestruck and said, "How awe-inspiring is this place! This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven." We continue on page 28 as we rise for our call to worship the Baruch Hu. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Adonai, Hamevorach, Hamevorach, L'olam va'ed. Hamevorach, Hamevorach, L'olam va'ed. We read together on the top of page 31. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and night, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. We read responsively on the bottom of page 33. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us, and the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We join together in the chanting of Shema, found on pages 34 and 35. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto L'olam va'ed. You may be seated. We continue in the English on page 37. Together, love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Guide them, let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot so that you could be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. Adonai Elohechem emet. That's right, Bodhi. We join on pages 41 and 40 for our prayer before Mi Chamocha. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to lead no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Mi Chamocha is found on the previous page. Ya baba bim bim bam, ya baba bim bam, ya baba bim bim bam, ya baba bim bam, ay 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 ay, ya baba bim bam, ay 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 ay, ya baba bim bam. Mi Chamocha v'yadim Adonai, mi Chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Yoratihivot osefel, Yoratihivot osefel, Ma'alechutecha ra'uvanecha, Bokei lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze'eli anu ve'amru, Adonai Eloch l'olam va'ed. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporesh sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. We continue in our service with Tefillah, which begins on page 46, and we rise. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi ki tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotenu v'imoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, El Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei HaKol, Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot ve'imot, Umevi geula lifnei v'neihem, Leman shemo be'ahava, Melech ozer u'moshia u'magein, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, ve'Yizrat Sarah, Atah gibor l'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah rav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach umorid hagashem, Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Zomech noflim berofei cholim, Umatir hasurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha b'gevorot, Umidam elach, Melech mimit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kodshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, El HaKadosh. You may be seated. We read together in the English on the top of page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mikadesh HaShabbat. Page 57. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadcha, ve'yirah na'avod. Page 58. Ve'akulam, ve'akulam, it Brahma, ve'it Rabam, it Barach, ve'it Ramam, Shivcha Malkeinu, Tamid La'olam Va'ed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai, your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. We now join together in our singing of our prayer for peace, Shalom Rav, found on page 60. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasi Olam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasi Olam. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasi Olam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasi Olam. V'tov ve'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasi Olam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasi Olam. Tasi Olam. Tasi We turn into our prayer books to our prayer for healing, Mishaberach. Our prayer for healing is found on page 253. This week, our community is praying for the healing of body, healing of mind, and healing of spirit. Of Phyllis Barrenhouse, Mary Beth Kaplan, Richard Kaplan, Marjorie Gilberg, Susan Israel, Michelle Walder, John Tejada, Ellen Moore, Jamie Mykoff, and Karen Klein. If there is anyone whose names you would like to recite before our prayer of healing, you may say their names out loud, at home, or in your hearts. We join together in the singing of Mishaberach. Mishaberach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu We pause now for a moment of silent prayer and reflection. Osi shalom bimramav, uyasi shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen. One of the most quoted biblical commentators in Judaism, and truly a magnificent teacher, is Rashi. Rabbi Shlomo Yitzchaki, who lived in Alsace, an area where our temple founders were from, lived from approximately 1035 to 1105. As just one of Rashi's many examples that he gives throughout our Torah, we're going to look at one of his comments tonight and one tiny detail of this week's Torah portion, Vayetze. Jacob, fleeing his home, has found a place to stay for the night. He takes one of the stones that is lying nearby, and he puts it beneath his head and falls asleep. And when he dreams of a ladder with its foot on the ground and its top in the sky, he dreams of angels traveling up and down the rungs of the ladder. Rashi says, wait a minute, up and down? Surely that can't be right. First, the angels ascend, and then they descend. Angels are heavenly beings. Surely they have to come down from the firmament first. And then Rashi thinks about it some more, and he answers his own question. No, this is correct. The angels that accompanied him in the Holy Land do not go outside of the Holy Land. Therefore, they ascended back up to the firmament, and the angels outside the Holy Land came down to accompany Jacob. In other words, Rashi is teaching that the exchange of angels is something that is happening because Jacob is on a journey. Jacob is in a state of transition and change. If we think of these ascending angels as symbols of the way we understand and organize our reality, then one of the meanings of Jacob's dream for us is that when there is a profound change in our lives, our old understandings won't work anymore. Perhaps we have gone through an actual change in status. We've recently got married or become a parent, perhaps changed a job, divorced, or went into retirement. We may have lost someone close to us, someone who helped give our life meaning and gave us a sense of ourselves. Or perhaps the change was an internal one, an inner sense of not being the same as we had previously been, a sense of something being vaguely off or out of kilter. As we know, human beings are in a constant state of change. And change is a constant of human existence. And one of the arts of living well as a human being is to be able to navigate our changes. Rashi is teaching us that when there is a change in our lives, our angels, our understanding of ourselves and our reality have to change as well. But every change brings about new beginnings that make us feel excited, energized, and committed. Provided, of course, that we accept that the change is happening and allow the angels that have accompanied us so far to leave and get to know the new angels that will now be our companions. Now, did Jacob notice the change of the angels? I think that perhaps he did. And in next week's Torah portion, Jacob will encounter a new life-changing angel. And on his return to the land of Canaan, and after 20 years in exile, and as is said in the last sentence of the next week's Parsha, he encounters angels once again. Jacob went on his way, and angels of God met him. And when he saw them, he said, "This is the camp of God." And he named the place Manhayim. Let us have the ability to say goodbye to the angels that need to leave us, and let us look forward to greeting the new angels that have come into our midst. Shabbat Shalom. A few announcements. This Sunday, December 4th at 9:30 a.m., we will be having our K through 5th grade religious school, and we will be having our Temple Tots Hanukkah program. So I look forward to seeing Theo and Bodhi at our Hanukkah party for our little ones on Sunday, where we're going to make some art and we're going to sing some songs and play some games and hear a story. It's going to be a lot of fun. And you get to be with some of the older kids too, the 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds. Next Wednesday, there will be a board meeting at 6 p.m. on December 7th. Next Friday, December 9th, we will hold Shabbat services using our union prayer book, followed by an oneg, and we will be having accompaniment. So we will be gracing the sanctuary with music that was performed a lot more 50 or so years ago, but is still really beautiful. So I'm excited. And next Friday, the following Friday, December 16th, we will be having services in the sanctuary followed by an oneg. But on Sunday, December 18th, we will be celebrating as a community in our social hall. For the first night of Hanukkah, we will be singing songs and playing games, and everyone is going to bring their family Hanukkiyot, perhaps bring some family presents to give to each other, and we will be having a delicious dinner with latkes and sufganiyot, jelly donuts. Please RSVP to secretary@jewishtemple.org if you're able to make it, because it'll be a lot of fun, and we want to make sure that we have tons of latkes, because if you make 50 or you make 500, they're all gone all the time. It doesn't matter. We always run out of latkes, but we want to make sure that we definitely have at least enough for people to feel satiated and enjoy them. So we will now continue in our service with Aleinu, found on page 282. And we rise. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tik gdula le'yotzeh b'reshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, ve'lo hasamanu kemishpachot ha'adama. Shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'goralenu kachol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim ubodim, lifnei melech, malachei halachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 287. V'ne'emar v'hayadonai v'melech ha'koretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shema echad. We turn to page 293. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. This week, we remember the yahrzeits of Francis Prusek Rubin, Herman Pasternak, Albert Bendersky, Alfred Weedle, Dr. Patricia Wells, Malcolm Levy, Francis R. Bruckner, Eleanor Light, William Frank Harms, Edgar Pressburg, Leanne Perry, Minnie Gamberg, Aaron Karp, Dr. Sam Gandelman, Blanche Norman, Doris Stern Levison, Dr. David Maurice Freifeld, Rose L. Hochbaum, Samuel Broida, Henry Haas, Hortense L. Rosenthal, Ben Kahn, Melanie Erstein, Moses Meyer, Dilbert E. Jackson, Jerome T. Weil, Dr. Haskell M. Wertheimer, and Ella Rodionova. We join together in the Mourner's Kaddish, found on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divarach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon v'yomechon, u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'yizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach lo'olam olomei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei d'kudsha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, v'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Osei shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel and to people everywhere. And let us say, amen. We now conclude our service with Kiddush and Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho b'ahavav ratzon hinchilanu zikara v'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehillah b'mikra'e kodesh zechel v'tzion Mitzrayim kivanu b'charta v'yotanu kidashta mikol amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahavav ratzon inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. L'chaim. And as we join together in Motzi, Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, v'te'avon. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Please join us in the garden room for our oneg. Shabbat shalom, and I'll see you in just a second.